2 years ago, I received a phone call that just rocked my world.
So this is the Tenderloin. We're on Eddy Street right now. So you can see there's a police station right over here, and there's people selling drugs on that corner. And now I'm gonna show you where I grew up. I used to see a lot of girls prostitute themselves. I used to always ask my mom, what are them girls doing? They were young, but I was young at the time. She wouldn't tell me.
She was completely normal, had a great family, just in a poverty-stricken district where, man, literally one or two decisions later, you're caught up in the other side of the district.
I wanted to be a nurse, and I always remember not wanting to ever get beat up by a guy because my uncle used to beat up on my aunt in front of us, so I never wanted to go through that. My name's Anna, and this is where I grew up. I came here when I was 7 years old. It was kind of rough living here, as you can see. It's a rough neighborhood. Brings back a lot of memories. Growing up in the Tenderloin was kind of scary. The only place I felt safe was coming to church. I remember growing up meeting Chris because he used to do youth outreach, and he knocked on my door and invited me to a program.
We'd known her for a good 7-8 years. You would never think that this would be the story of Anna.
I started hanging around with a different type of people and basically bad influence. I remember meeting her. Her name was Never, and a second girl named Amanda. She offered me a place to stay. It was just going to be a place where I can sleep and be safe. And I believed her. They had a plan for me. I guess I was going to be their project.
I just asked a simple question. I was like, Anna, what's up? Where have you been? And that's when she went on a 2-hour story of how she was actually trafficked.
I was introduced to this man named Rome. Since that day, he never left me, never left my side. I had no idea of the trap. He will make me use crystal meth with him and make me do things I didn't want to do. They kind of tricked me into having sex with a stranger, and they had everything ready in the room. The guy knew that it was my first time. He just said, go in there and do what you are told, get the money and come out. If you try to leave, I'm gonna kill you. I remember just getting beat up damn near every day for anything. I was forced to be out there. I wasn't allowed to come home if I didn't have at least $500 or $600 a day. All you hear at night, your heels like tick, 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 so you gotta run from everybody. You just gotta run. He tortured me for 2 days and just had me in a room. He said if I left that room alive, I was gonna be lucky. He locked me in a closet, butt naked, and would go in there and torture me. Put a mirror in front of me so I can look at myself while I was getting beat up. He was gonna go get some more drugs so we could have makeup sex. The housekeeper came in. She knocked on my door and she just looked at me and she said, you need to call somebody to come pick you up. I was just beat up from head to toe, and it was just horrible.
I did have one question. I said, Anna, I want to know where this takes place. I want to know where in the city, because I love the city. I was born in the city, and I just can't picture that type of stuff happening here. And when she gave me the address, it was about 3 or 4 blocks from City Impact. When my wife and I went to bed that night, we just felt like it was a defining moment in our life. We're either going to ignore what we just heard, make ourselves numb to it, or we have to do something. The majority of the injustice in Anna's story happened behind closed doors, really convicted us about what's happening in these apartment buildings. That's what burdened us ultimately, was who is going door to door and who's going to shine the light in the dark place and identify the injustice and execute justice. And so out of those talks, we just came up with the initiative called Adopt a Building. I truly believe we could flip a district around. I know it sounds crazy, I know it sounds childlike to imagine something like that, but we have seen it already take place, and so it's just a matter of scale. Why? Because we're supposed to love our neighbor. That's it. It's really as simple as that.
Anybody could have knocked on my door and just asked me if I'm okay, if I need help. What I think City Impact is doing, it's really positive for the community, is they knock on people's door, intervene in their life. And I guess God's trying to use me to save others that are in my same situation. It's gonna take a minute, but I know that God has a plan for me, and that's why I'm here.